Hey race fans, thanks for taking time out of your busy day to check out the channel. On this episode, I'll be talking about how you can make your own custom framed art. And the inspiration came from the other day when I was on the McLaren website looking to buy some products just to see what they had because I've never been here before. Then I came across these cool pictures like this one of Ayrton Senna. Started to pique my interest, so I kept on looking around, and I definitely was not in the hunt for pictures, but as I happened to come across it, got more interested, and then this one of James Hunt really started to get me interested. I just love the way it's so simple. It's that old school. It is from 1976, so it's that 1976, 1970s art style, which is very simple but very effective. Then I like this one of these GTRs here. Well, the same GTR, but I just love the way how it's a simple car on a simple background. No fancy scenery in behind, but very effective with the two color setup. And then this one was the one right here that said, "Oh my gosh, I got to do something," and it reminded me of well, first of all, of the movie, which was excellent. So then it reminded me of a picture that I was looking at the other day, and it's a Ken Block one. I was on the Etsy site, and I said, you know what, I got to do something about this. I want this picture. And as I was looking around, and these are the pictures here, $200 for the picture. I thought, okay, photographer is awesome, yeah, but then the shipping just made it so crazy. So I said, forget it. Okay, so now here's the picture that's the inspiration for my space where my rigs are now set up. I took this a couple of years ago, framed it, and it's really cool. So I thought, okay, let's make this happen. I'm going to go to Michael's and get frames that match that one in my racing area. So if you haven't been to Michael's, it's a store in Canada. I don't know if it's in the US, but you can go to any art supply store, anywhere where you get photos. Obviously, Walmart has a framing section, and whatever store you need to go to, department store or whatever. So I'm looking around here. The selection in Michael's was really good. Not paid by Michael's, so they didn't even know I was making this video. But I'm just showing you when you want to make your own custom art, the opportunities are really limitless. They have so many different frames, and they're very reasonable priced. I mean, you can spend $20 all the way to $1,000 for a frame. But as I'm looking around at these frames right here, I was really happy to find out. And the cool thing about these frames, before I go on, is that obviously you have different sizes, but you can get them in square or rectangular patterns too, and obviously you can make them vertical or horizontal, whatever fits your need. But what's really cool is that I got two frames for the price of that $34 frame there. Well, when I went up to the counter with two of them, the price ended up being half price. So I was really happy for that because I do eventually want to have three pictures in that space because the one big one with one small one just wouldn't feel balanced for me. So eventually I'll have three pictures. So here I am. So if you've never done this, if you've never put a picture in a frame before, that's all it is. Just take off the clips at the back, line it up. Now, no lie, it is tricky to line it up because I did print words on it, and you have to make sure it's exactly right, or else the words are going to be hidden behind the mat. The mat is that inside part where it's the border. But before I show you the finished product, let's start working on the car. Yes, let's start working on this Roadster Shop Rampage. Love this car. It looks really aggressive. And if Ken Block is ever going to get back into the Hoonigan series, I wish he would use this car because it's really, really sick. I've never seen one of these on the road. Haven't quite figured out the handling in GT7 yet on this car, but it's going to give me incentive to play around with it some more. But anyway, so I started designing it, and I wanted to make it black in honor of Ken Block's Mustang Hoonigan. So that's the base. Now I will say one of the things that really helped me when designing this is if you do your pre-scouting work and you do your search and you create a favorite file to get all your stickers, that's what I did. It sped up the process so quickly. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this was a long process because I followed Ken Block's design almost to a T. So it took me a little over an hour to complete this sticker design. Then when I was finished, I wanted to put my own wheels on it, so I put those deep dish wheels on there. Now, I did some pre-scouting with locations also, and I made some favorites, and I wanted to get that vibe where there was that concrete setting, really industrial look. So here I am in the photo section in GT7, and I mean, it's phenomenal. I haven't used the ones in the other games before, but what else do they need to do in Gran Turismo to make you appreciate this photo section? And I'm going to show you at the end that really this car, you won't be able to tell that this car was from a game. And as I have the picture set up, when my friends come over, I will bet that they'll think it's a real car. So I'm playing around with the settings here to get the look that I want. If you've never used these camera settings before, just spend an hour with it. It's so worth it. You get so many options. I mean, combinations upon combinations for the look that you want. I really did like that black and white, that matted black and white look, but not for this purpose right here. That's a cool look too, so I took a picture of that. And I mean, I can keep these on my phone, whatever, use it for my desktop at work because I like to change my desktops every now and then. And that's basically, this one here is basically the look that I'm sticking with. All right, so I'm just going to stop talking for a bit and let this process work its way out. Now here, what's going on here is I'm just about finishing up with one of the ideas that I had based on the James Hunt picture. So I took my Dallara, was playing around with it in Photoshop. So not sure if you have Photoshop, but you can use other editing programs out there. Some are free. I have a paid subscription for Photoshop where I do my work. So I'm just playing around with it here, and I've added some writing to it. You can see that, and you can go to many sites and get different fonts if you don't like the fonts that you have in your program. And again, I do pay for a subscription to a site, so I played around with that. And then I finished that James Hunt picture, so now I'm back into the Rampage here, and I'm just playing around with some words, just trying different things to see what works, just to make it more custom. course I'm joking around with the treadmill because treadmills and any other kind of simulator are just simulators, right? So here I am talking about sim racing. So just a little play, and because my sim rig is in the area where I have my assault bike, so that's another simulator. Now what I'm doing here is I'm adding smoke that I got from one of my accessory sites, just to give it that feel that this car has been revving up, burning some rubber in this space. Like that scene when Ken Block introduces the world to the Hoonigan when it's all locked up in the chains and it's just burning rubber. Oh, that's the whole inspiration for this photo anyway. So I'm just putting the smoke in different areas, just trying different things, and that's what you can do if you have an editing program, video program, whatever you use. Just play around with it, make it your own. There are no limits. Don't tell anybody what you can and cannot do. Just trying different vibes here. Now I'm putting some fire in again, because that fire in that one picture that I saw on Etsy. And the way you can get rid of the background is just by putting a dissolve mode, I think is what I used here. So now it just looks like, obviously, like the car is on fire. How cool would that be to just pour some gas down the hood of the car? If you can do it without damaging it, great, but obviously it's just for effect in this. So I just erased the parts of the fire that I don't need. Tried to fit it in to make it look like it's only on the car or just around the car. And if I wanted, I could put another layer of that fire and put it on the driver's side and just make it peek over the top, but I thought this was good enough. Now here I'm just playing with the exact angle of the fire, just to line it up so that it looks more realistic. Just trying to keep the angles right with the line of the car. And what I just did there was I just added another layer of that same fire element, just to give it more depth, beef it up a bit. And then of course, very important, save your work, save it often. If you've never used one of these programs before, you should put the autosave feature on, because it's awful when you lose your work. So here it is, the finished product. One on the right with words, one without words. So there it is. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comments section. We'll see you on the next one.